Hi, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for tuning in. The day has finally come. Much to my wife's horror, I am installing my Snorkel. I've been looking forward to this. This is one of the things that I've really been looking forward to putting on the car. I don't know why. Maybe partly because of my midlife crisis. I don't know. I've gone for the Hark 4x4 kit. It's a really good kit. What I particularly like is that on the side it's got Discovery 3 written on it. Not all of them do. I thought that was a nice touch. It's about 50-55 quid if memory serves. I will put the link to the kit that I bought in the description, so if you want to go for it you can. I'm not sponsored. I don't get any money for it. I'm just uh, friendly recommendation for something that I'm quite happy with. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to be putting some studs into this. They're M6 and M8. I'm going to thread lock them in, so that's why I'm going to do it first, so that the thread lock has time to go nice and hard before I actually install this into the car. And then I'm going to go around, take everything out the airbox, because I will be doing a watertight fitting into the car to make sure that I have no intention of driving through any rivers, but I always think that if a job's worth doing, it's worth doing properly. And I don't want any problems with airflow or whatever going on in the future. So I will be doing a full install, grinding out the bit in the engine bay to get the pipe through. So let's do that. Right, I'm going to put the studs in now, and then we're going to go around to the car and get started. So I'm going to just show you the one of the M8 bolts going in. I've got here some Loctite, and what you do is you just put enough Loctite on to fill the grooves on the bottom of the stud. You don't really want it coming up above the level, and then screw it in by hand. And then just give it a little nip up. Tick, tick, tick. Right, so you've seen the grub screws go in, they're drying nicely in the garage. I'm going to pop the hood. I'm going to take the cover off the A-pillar. I'm going to pull the cover off the air intake out. I will take the air box out, and I'll take the wheel arch, the headlight out, and the wheel arch off as well, because I'm not really clever enough to be able to take the lining down with the wheel on. I've got arms like elephant trunks, so they don't go in small places. So I'm just going to make my life easy and take the front wheel off as well. Right, so I've now got everything off. I have taken the headlight out so that I could take the wheel arch off to give me access to here. So you can see, I can now see all the way up inside where I'm going to be drilling the holes around here and bolting the Snorkel on. Taking the A-pillar cover off, I only managed to break one of the yellow poppers, which is a result for me. And then finally I've taken the air box out, where we're going to be cutting a hole in here to give access to the new coupling. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a quick clean up, clean the working areas, and then I'm going to start masking and using the little guides, which I'll show you, that come in the kit to drill the holes. All right, so everything's now masked out, and I've put the guides, the drilling guides and the cutting guides on the car. Let me just show you what I've done, starting at the top, working down. So here you've got the guides for the drill holes for the pop rivets. Really important, because I nearly did this. Uh, use the plate to check which way round the guide thing goes, because in this kit there's not like an arrow or anything that shows you, and it would be really easy to get this upside down and then drill it the wrong way. Then we've got the guide for here, so you've got M6, 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 M8, M8. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually drill all of those out to 10 millimeters, put a blob of silicon around each hole, because it's going to take a little bit of wiggly jiggly to get the bolts in, because it's not all entirely flush. And then finally, I'll put the guide in here and marked up on the masking tape what part it is that we're going to be cutting out to get the new air hose in. So I'm going to start at the top, work forwards, drill the holes on the A pillar, drill the holes for the box, and then finally cut that. And I'm going to do that all in everyone's favourite mode, time lapse. So I've been trying for 25 minutes and I've not drilled the first hole yet. Let me show you what's happened. This is the state of it so far. You can see you're through the first outer skin quite easily. However, the hardened steel inside, we snapped a couple of drill bits, and we're now looking on Screwfix to see what the absolute best metal cutting drills are, because this is harder metal than I've ever experienced. We've got high powered Bosch drills at full RPM, and it's not even touching it. Using 3-in-1 oil to lube the bits as well as a sort of cutting oil, just not working. So once I've got the right bit, I'll tell you what ones you need. Right, I'll be back. Right, so my dad's off to Screwfix to get some carbide tips to try and do that A pillar. What I'm going to do while he's out is drill for the box fittings on the side panel, which is a much thinner metal, and my DeWalt should be able to get through that. Right, back into time lapse. Well, the side panel went a lot smoother, so that's all done now. So here we are. I've got the holes all drilled, ready to go. I've made them, like I said, a lot bigger, so that there's a little bit of room. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to plop a little bit of sealant in there when I tighten it all up. That'd be nice and snug, but just gives you that little bit of wiggle room to get all the bolts in without scratching the paintwork too much. Right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and find a towel to cover over the engine and get the angle grinder out, cut out the hole while I'm waiting. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to use my angle grinder to cut out the markings that I've done here. I'm just going to lightly touch it all the way around and slowly work it around until I get the piece out. Back into time-lapse mode so you don't hear me swearing. Right, this has been a palaver and a half. My dad went out, we bought 8 cobalt coated drill bits for hardened steel, um, and we've burnt all 8 out. We have, however, just managed to do 2 pot rivets, managed to get the top and the bottom one in. We've gone through 6 HSS drill bits and 8 cobalt coated drill bits. It is unbelievably difficult. You will need a lot of drill bits to do this job. It's not as easy as we think it is. Anyway, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get the pipe threaded through the front end, and I'm going to build it essentially from the engine bay to the roof now. So I'm going to put the pipe into the wing, fit the end that goes to the airbox to the pipe, put the Jubilee clip onto the box that goes on the outside, and then bolt that up, and then finally get the top on facing backwards or forwards. Let me know in the comments. Okay, so yet again this was a fight. I have, however, got it in, but there's like a wall, a strengthening wall inside here that runs left to right, and I'd left a little nodule down at the top, so I had to get my grinder in, grinding up as far as I could, and then with the hammer, or the bad day hammer, I then smashed it up out of the way, and I managed to get the carabiner on tight, and I fed it through so it's as straight as possible through the light fitting, and I've now got this pipe poking out of the air intake ready for the snorkel tool to attach. So what I've done is I've fitted the cover, the A-pillar cover up, and marked here with tape where I have to cut a line, and I think it's probably going to be in about there. But what I will do is I'm going to eyeball it, use the grinder to grind a line in it, and then I will use the sealant that I've bought just to seal it up as well once it's in. So let's get going. So another little battle won by me, hurrah. What I did was I marked out uh, the bracket with masking tape. I then used the angle grinder to cut a slot, and then I've used the black sealant I got from Halfords just to fill in the gap. And as my dad always says, a blind man will be pleased to see that. So it's going to be covered by Snorkel. Right, on to time lapse to the fitting now. Right, here we are. bit of a struggle. I think I've made that look a lot harder than the other guys on YouTube doing it, but it was. I really struggled to get the pipe on the bottom, on the back of here. What I had to do, you might have seen it. My dad and I would cut that much off the out the pipe that's fitted to the back of this. We squared it off so that the tube fit on a little bit better, and that meant we were able to get the Jubilee clip on nice and tight. And then I re-fed the Jubilee clip back through to the airbox and redid that bit. And then it was just a case of getting the bolts up really fiddly up the inside of the wing. We all knew it was going to be really fiddly, but yeah, got it done. It was a good. It was a good. I'm really happy with the way it looks. It's not a quick job. It's an all-day job if you're not used to it like me. But it's worth it. The Hark kit, I can't really complain too much. Obviously, I've had to alter their design somewhat, but all the parts were there. Everything worked. I will put the link to the silicon and the Loctite that I bought at Halford's in the description below. But like I said, any comments, please do mention them. Any questions, let me know. I'll try and answer them for you, and then I'll see you on the next one. Thanks.